The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in. It's time for Common Man. Common Man, Common Man. Charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in. It's time for Common Man.
Oh, boy. Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
Time is running out on Dan Cole's round. Let's go to 15. Bob?
Yeah, John Cole has been visibly angry. He's been talking to himself quite a bit. And it doesn't get any easier here on the par 3 15th hole at Minnesota National. This hole is guarded by two bunkers with a big tree in front of the green. Very challenging tee shot. He's opted to hit a 5-iron here. Cole, unreal pants, fluttering in the wind, mumbling to himself, I've got to have this shot. Hooty-hoo! Ooh, that's very well struck. Spinning through the air like a J.J. McCarthy pass. It's right on line. Looking good. Oh, my! It's in! I can't believe what I just saw. A hole-in-one for Cole at the 15th, and he's pointing at patrons in the gallery shouting, you doubted me, you doubted me, you doubted me, and now he's embracing his son, Peter. What a moment between father and son here at the 15th at Minnesota National.
Now what do you think? What do you think of that? You always love that one.
Who that? Who there? Objects in your mirror may be closer than they appear.
The Black Hawk.
Boy, how disappointing is that?
Let's go.
That was probably Zimmer being Zimmer.
Time for two more questions, guys. Rosa, you don't know nothing.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the North. This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? I think I'm losing my hearing. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, or some semblance of the truth, so help you God. I beg your pardon. Case closed. You win your class action lawsuit for disc jockeys and talk show hosts around the world forced to wear headsets for all those years, and they've lost their hearing. I'm the Common Man, Dan Cole. I'm a radio dinosaur. This is my La Brea tar pit. Someday archaeologists and paleontologists will be sifting through the rubble that will be 1600 Utica Avenue South, and they'll stumble across my skeletal remains and my cold, dead, rigor mortis-laden lips attached to this. It's not a Neumann anymore. It's some cheap knockoff, but it's still an okay microphone. And they'll say, egad, it's a social commentator with an archaic communication device. We are here until 3 o'clock today. Mark Rosen will join us via hip stream. Knee stream. He's knee deep in the hoopla. He had knee surgery, or knee replacement, as a matter of fact, not once but twice now. He'll join us from his palatial estate, and then we'll make way for big ticket. I think he makes his triumphant return today, along with JG. Tana B, you are how old? 44 years old?
Older, higher.
You're 46.
46.
46. And if I remember correctly, you told me that were you alive for one of the Vikings Super Bowls, but you were so young you don't remember it, or weren't you alive at all for any of them?
No, I wasn't alive for any of them, I don't believe.
Okay.
I was like 2 months old when Miracle on Ice happened.
Okay. If you are ever wondering what it was like to go through one of the, and count them, there was not one, not two, not three, but four. Well, actually five. No, it was four, but three actually sounds. Four of the big game losses for the Vikings. Did you watch last night's World Cup soccer game in the United States?
I watched the second half.
That was much like watching the Vikings in a big game. It was absolutely identical. You never felt they were in the game. Never. Even after I think they tied it 1-1.
Yeah.
I believe. I'm just telling you. Look, I kind of caught a little bit of World Cup fever over the past, particularly over the weekend. I was sort of kind of paying attention, kind of like that. You remember back in the olden days when a new kid would move into town, right? There's a new kid in town. Everybody's talking about a new. If LeBron comes to town, would we do a montage with new kid in town?
Sure.
All right. How about if Larkin comes?
More like a new grandpa in town with LeBron. But
that's true. Is Larkin old too?
No.
So we could use new kid in town for him. But the new kid in town, he'll be at the playground, right? He'll kind of watch from afar. He'll be kind of shy with his hands in his pockets, right? And he's watching everybody else play. Then all of a sudden he gets a little bit closer, and then finally some of the guys go, "Hey, come on over, you want to play?" And then all of a sudden he becomes one of the gang, right?
Oh.
And that's sort of how I felt with soccer. I've never been embraced by the soccer community because I've never wanted to be a part of the soccer community. And I've said this before, I'm not a soccer hater. I think I was one of those guys, when I was trying to prop up sagging ratings.
Yeah.
I would be the guy that would make fun of soccer, right? Just make fun of how stupid it is. And, they never scored. It's slow moving. It's terrible.
You would take a picture of an empty stadium and then send it to your producer to post on social media so you can get. That's right. And we got them going. And then, of course, backlash from all the soccer ribs.
Of course, what you didn't know was that I took that picture like 3 hours before the game started. No! Well, you loved it, though, too. You said, boy, I thought soccer was growing in Minnesota. And there was nobody there. And it was like, by the time I sent you the picture, it was like 20 minutes before game time, but it was actually 3 hours before that. And I really wasn't trying to set you up. I really wasn't. I thought people showed up early. They do at Lambeau. But, so I kind of watch it. Well, everybody else is getting in. What am I missing? Same old thing when at the beginning of the season, you tell me it's the Skatriots. Big Ticket tells me the Timberwolves are going to the Western Conference Finals. The Polar Pocket Protectors tell me it's all coming together, that we're going to win Twins, we're going to score. And then the purveyor of positivity, Barney the Purple Dinosaur, or as I like to call him now, well, he's the national treasure, according to LeBron, so I just call him Nash for short. He'll tell me the Vikings are either going to go 13-4 if they make 12-5 if things don't go right. Hey, and if they get a break, they'll go 14-3. So same thing. I was like, what am I missing? And I always believe they're going to be terrible teams and terrible cities and terrible, that. And so then, but all of a sudden I go, well, everybody must know something I don't. So then I get all excited and hop on board the bandwagon. And then have my hopes and dreams crushed again. So I thought, well, what am I missing here? Right? It was fun. Sunday, I watched Norway against Brazil. I think that was considered an upset. And then England beat Mexico.
Yeah.
First time Mexico has been beaten in a World Cup game in that stadium. So, and with the action-packed games, I mean, they all tend to slow down a little bit, but a lot of scoring chances, a lot of flopping, plenty of flopping, red cards, yellow cards, green cards. I wonder if, well, we won't get into that. But the people in the soccer community, particularly the United States soccer community, so badly want the United States to be relevant in world soccer. I think they sort of overplayed how good they were. Oh, this is a great team. We're starting to catch up now. We're right there on the cusp of being considered one of the soccer powers in the world. We now can be like a Brazil, like an Argentina, like a Brazil and an Argentina, or some of the other really good countries. France.
Spain.
In Spain. That was a pack of lies. Or they just lied to themselves. That was varsity versus junior varsity last night. The United States, their goaltender, what he was doing in that third goal, I have no idea.
No clue.
They had trouble completing a pass from one player to another, much
Yes.
less two passes in a row. Did they have any shots on goal other than the one that scored? And was that on a penalty kick?
Was that a free kick?
Free kick.
But it's close to the box.
Yeah,
so.
right. Belgium's just in a whole nother stratosphere. At least they were that yesterday. Maybe it was just
They didn't even start their best players, apparently.
No.
They sat him. One guy never even got in the game because it was out of hand. They'd be like, let's rest him for the next game.
I guess having Balogun in didn't really matter, did it? Did he touch the ball at all? Did he play? He did. He had a couple touches. Oh, he did. Okay, because I wouldn't have known because he certainly wasn't a factor in the game last night. It was embarrassing. It was like the Vikings against the Chiefs. 65 toss power trap, just cackling. I wonder if they were cackling over on the Belgium sideline. And then we lost to, who did we lose to in the second one? Miami. That was 24-7. Then we got, the Steelers was the closest we ever had. I think it was 16-6. That was 2-0 at the half. That was the closest. And then we got just annihilated by the Raiders. In that Raiders Super Bowl against John Madden, the Vikings defense looked like chairs. Sometimes you use chairs. Last night, the entire United States soccer team looked like chairs. Every single player for the United States last night was atrocious for the United States of America. So I'm glad that's done. Now I don't have to pay attention anymore. We'll take a break. Maybe we could spin the wheel of topic. 79 today at the Royal Club. I was 7 over on 3 holes. 7 over on 3 holes, even on the other 15. I had a triple and 2 doubles. Don't ask. Topping tee shots will always lead to doubles and triples. We'll break. We'll come back. A little this, a little that, with the emphasis on the light on the Common Man program on the Fan.
The Common Man.
Don't take anything I say on this show literally in the next 3 hours.
Get closer to the action with KFAN, breaking sports news, exclusive contests, and more. Follow at KFAN 1003 on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X to stay connected.
Couple 13-14 past time. Common, he's 10 to be. So it's time for Peek at the Purple. It's brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. If you're planning a summer remodel, you better get to it. Summer's almost over. But regardless if it's a kitchen update, bathroom renovation, I need to do one of those bathroom renovations soon. Basement finish, garage. I mean, it's time that I get rid of the outhouse and actually install a bathroom in my home. So I do need to do a bathroom renovation. Basement finish, garage build, or full home edition. Affordable Electric handles the wiring, the lighting, the panel upgrades, and inspections to keep your project safe and up to code, which is very important. Before that drywall goes up, make sure the electric is done right. Affordable-electric.com or 612-331-VOLT. 612-331-VOLT or affordable-electric.com. Shockingly, affordable. So now, I went to, you remember we started on the annual survey that Alec Lewis and the Athletic put together for the Vikings? We only got through I think there was a couple 13, 14 questions. We only got through 4 or 5. I went there and it says they're no longer accepting responses. Well, I don't care about responding. I just wanted to take a look at the survey. I can't get it now anymore. So we waited too long. It's sort of the story of my life. I'm one of those guys that's a day late and a dollar short. So it's like I waited way too long because there were some very controversial questions. Yeah. I did scan them, but now I can't remember what they all were. I think one of them was, if you think the Vikings are going to win the big game, I've got some oceanfront property in Arizona I can sell you or something like that. But there really isn't. The only thing was yesterday was one of those If a talk show host uses lists on his radio show, what can you say for sure about that talk show host? What attribute does he have? And it's really not one people like.
Lazy.
Lazy, that's it. Well done. And it said 5 situations that could just, be toxic, or however they phrased it. And, keep an eye on this. And, of course, one of them was the Viking quarterback situation. Could it get toxic if one of the quarterbacks, they both, McCarthy he says he has been told it is a quarterback competition. They weren't so disappointed in him that they said, kid, you're basically going to be a backup quarterback this year. They're at least telling him privately, and that's become public, that, you know what, we haven't given up on you. You accomplished a lot during the offseason again. You went to that quarterback trainer guy in California, I think it is, and we got some good reports from him. And we think you're starting to align your eyes. It's like the age of Aquarius. Moon in 7th house, Jupiter aligns with Mars. Moon in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars are your eyes aligning with your feet, and you're better at that. And as we talked about, Tenneby, I think a lot of that is just to keep the kids' interest. I mean, it's pretty hard. I mean, I'm sure they've told you that program director's job could be yours someday, to keep you interested in being. Oh, boy. Yeah. That's not even that highly coveted of a job anymore. It used to be. There was a time being a program director at any radio station. Didn't matter if it was major market, minor market, middle market, whether it was all sports, whether it was country and western, whether it was urban, whether it was hip hop, whether it was adult contemporary or album-oriented rock. You wanted to have AOR, album-oriented rock. That's where really what happened was the disc jockeys were always usually either hungover or they were 13, 14 sheets to the wind. So it's like you loved songs like Do You Feel Like We Do by Frampton. Live, it was 15 minutes long. You just drop the needle on for 15 minutes. Just go, I don't have to do anything for 15 minutes. Now. And then if you played, Close to the Edge, that was 18 minutes and 40. I don't think they ever played that on album-oriented rock. Too weird. It starts out with a 4-minute guitar solo that's, unless you're into Yes, it's really hard to even listen to. Then there's a really slow part in the middle where there's dripping water and choirs. And it's But they play, Stairway to Heaven, 7 or 8 minutes long, right? Album-oriented rock that's what KQRS was for years. Album-oriented rock.
Upset alert.
Oh, we have an upset in the making?
Egypt has just scored again. They lead Argentina 2-0.
Ooh.
They're in the 58th minute. A big-time upset.
That's not the most amazing thing out of Egypt. I would say it would be the pyramids, which were built in the 1800s, in case you didn't know, Tenneby.
I always
You didn't see
that
a
one.
PA cheap shot coming there, did you? Or did
I read that one.
I telegraphed that one. Well, that's an upset alert. Did Messi announce that this is his last World Cup, or was that the other guy, Ronaldo?
Ronaldo did, but I mean, Messi is old enough where it's hard to imagine 4 years from now he's going back.
Yeah. Maybe they'll do like a senior World Cup.
Oh, they're reviewing it.
Oh.
To see if there was a foul.
Oh, that's a foul. He stepped on his foot. He stepped on his foot. Look at that. But that happened a long time ago.
It happened like 30 seconds before.
Well, yeah, that's no foul. They're not going to say that's a foul, are they? See, that's what I'm done with soccer. I can't do it anymore. There's too many, every little ticky-tack. If a guy falls down and pretends he got hurt like he got his foot chopped off by an axe, what does that mean? They're going to review it?
Well, that's the VAR sign.
Yeah. I can't lip read. I don't know the volume up. Does it count? They counted.
He's pointing as if it's going back to where the foul was.
Oh,
yeah, they took the goal off.
On.
It wasn't one of those plays where it directly led to a goal.
No.
They had to go down the entire length of the field. It wasn't like an odd man rush.
No,
you could call that play all the time.
You could call it every single. I'm just telling you. I'm going to make fun of soccer now again, like I used to. It's a terrible sport played by guys that they're really not. You don't have to be that good of an athlete to play soccer because you're just dogging it most of the time. You're just running and you make these tiny little short passes and then you're going backwards half the time. What sport do you turn around and go backwards? Where you go the opposite direction of the goal. I mean, it's ridiculous.
3-on-3 overtime in hockey.
Well, there's that. Well, and then, I mean, the net is way too big. Or maybe it's not big enough.
I was going to say, they don't score enough.
You only score, what's the average score in a soccer game? 1-0. And I'm done calling. I told Deuce last night, this 1-0. Who came up with nil? Oh, we got to, it's 1-0. It's 1-0 or it's 1-0. I'd rather them go, it's one,
it's not a pitch, it's a field.
Yeah, it's a field. I'd rather have them go, it's 1-0 than it's 1-0. 1-0. That's like over in Scotland, though I don't mind this. In Europe, they go, he's level par on the afternoon. Level par. Instead of even par, he's level par. I kind of like that, don't you?
I was watching with Leo the other night, and I go, oh, that's a nice give and go. And Leo goes, no, it's a 1-2.
Oh,
that's what they call it in soccer, 1-2.
They call it a 1-2. I call it a give. I'm with you, Tim. I mean, give and go. It's a terrible sport. Whoever created it. We talked about inventions. This is the worst invention ever. It's a stupid game. Oh, he fell down. Where's the flag?
Yeah, where's that one?
How come there's not a flag there? He stepped on his foot. Oh, I see. Oh, the foul was called against Egypt, who went up 2-0, and Messi plays for Argentina.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and
TV ratings will be much better if Argentina advances.
Don't you think it will? And then, they can do the build-up to Messi, maybe his last World Cup. Can he win one more championship? The whole thing is a manufactured sham.
And the ref might have money on
that's the other
Argentina.
Thing. It's a manufactured. It's a manufactured sham, is what it is. And then they run the clock the wrong direction. And then instead of stopping it when there's a stoppage in play, they just let it run. And then some guy arbitrarily says, I think Messi and Argentina need about 15 minutes to get back in this game. We're going to add 15 minutes of time on the clock at the end of the game.
You know what's even more ridiculous?
What's that?
They don't even stop the clock for the hydration break. They put in a hydration break for, to sell advertising, and they still keep the clock running. Just stop the clock.
I'm calling for the abolishment, not only of World Cup soccer, but soccer in general. They should ban it all over the world. It's a stupid sport. We'll break. We'll come back with a little this out here, the Coming Man program on the Fan.
Promote your company on the program. Marketing at KFAN.com to learn more about.
Your chance to score a Mall of America Summer Mystery Prize is back. Grab one at any of our KFAN events or anytime you see the KFAN Street Team this summer. Then redeem it at Mall of America for discounts and exciting prizes. Check out upcoming events at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Whoever's in charge, whether it's FIFA, I think inside FIFA, there's actually the SSS, the Secret Soccer Society. And they determine who will win and who will lose. And they decided long ago that we need Argentina and Messi for sure in the Final Four, if not the championship game, because he is one of the greatest players of all time. He'll probably never play in another World Cup. This will be Boffo ratings. The kids used to say Boffo. B-O-F-F-O. I don't know what they say now. Lit ratings.
They don't say Boffo, I can tell you that.
They don't say Boffo.
No.
I wish Boffo would come back. I've tried to bring the word groovy back. Groovy, man. Because sometimes what goes around comes around. And oftentimes, old slogans or sayings are revived.
Sure.
People discover them and go, man, that's lit. That's cool. Or that's groovy, man. That was back in the Haight-Ashbury days. So they came up with some lame foul that occurred 10 minutes before Egypt scored their second goal. 10 minutes went by and they said, we got to go back.
They timed it with a sundial.
Yeah, exactly.
Or as somebody on social media put it, when they showed the replay of it and they had to put the speed of the play all the way down on 2x, meaning 2 times speed.
Right.
Like anytime you have to show the replay at 2 times speed after the fouls happen, then what are we doing here?
Yeah, you're exactly right. But now Egypt has scored again, and it was the same guy that scored the previous goal that got overruled. And apparently even the Secret Soccer Society couldn't come up with a foul somewhere in the previous 10 minutes. I wonder if the president of Argentina, Javier Milei, made a phone call after that second goal. I was wondering if Trump was going to call last night after Belgium scored their first goal. I was wondering, will he call and try to get that? Will he call FIFA and say, you need to overrule that goal. That was not a good goal. It was a terrible goal. It shouldn't count.
Huge foul.
Huge foul. I thought maybe they would, but apparently he doesn't have that much pull. At least that'd have to be a pretty quick phone call, right? Because after the goal is scored, they get back to action pretty quick. But now Egypt leads by a score of 2-0, and there's the clock continues to run.
We're doing a 2-minute hydration break where the clock keeps running.
And there's 72:18 left on that clock. So now this probably isn't going to interest 98.7%, 98.6%. Great song by Keith. I've just been given some wonderful news. Tenby, are you familiar with a band called Loggins in Messina? You've heard of the duo?
Yes, I've heard of them.
Through me, right?
Couldn't tell you what they sing.
They do a song called Your Mama Don't Dance and Your Daddy Don't Rock and Roll. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do, your mama don't. They had a nice run for about, 6-8 years, whatever it was. Kenny Loggins went on to, as a solo artist, he did Footloose.
Yeah, great song.
So he went on to do some movie soundtracks, and he had a very successful solo career. He also did a duet with Stevie Nicks back in the 70s called If Ever I Call You Friend. We maybe even played it as bumper music. Whenever I Call You Friend. Really good song. A cheery song, kind of sappy. It's okay. It's nothing wrong with it. Matter of fact, it was a catchy tune. I'd rather enjoy it. But Jim Messina is doing a solo tour. He's got to be late 70s. I bet he's 78, 79 years old. He was one half of Loggins and Messina. As a matter of fact, he was supposed to just produce for Kenny Loggins a solo album. And he went to the record people and said, I just think it might be better if I actually work with him. I think the album will sound better. And Kenny said, okay. And lo and behold, they became they had many songs reach the, they had another one they did is, even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey. You've heard that one, right?
Of course.
And, see, they did that song. So he also started with Buffalo Springfield. Buffalo Springfield was the ones who had, stop, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. And then he was also with a band called Poco.
He gets around.
Yeah. And now he's solo. He's coming to the Dakota Jazz Club August 24th and 25th. I'm going to the show, and he has agreed to do an interview. And programming, and they're probably right. If I put Jim Messina, like I say, how many people out there know who Jim Messina is that are listening to the show right now? There's 100 people listening, which is a stretch. I get that, but just for argument's sake, let's say there's 100 people listening. 98 don't know who he is, right? Maybe 2?
Yeah, I was going to say in the 1 to 5 range,
yeah.
Knows who he is.
Yeah. And so if all of a sudden I go, Jim Messina on today, people are going to go, I'd rather listen to your shot by shot.
I would have thought that he used to pitch for the Baltimore Orioles.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah.
Jim Messina, very good. Well, when I brought it up in front of Emily, she goes, Jody Messina's coming? I go, no, it's Jim Messina. Have you heard of him? She goes, I've never heard of him before.
Is that her dad?
Yeah. So, and you know what they said at the Dakota? They said, because I said, how long are we in? I said 15, 20 minutes. They go, I want to block off an hour. Jim likes to talk. Because these old guys love to talk about their careers, right? I mean, I'm sure he's got great stories. So what I'm going to do is what I did with John K.F. Steppenwolf. I'll do the interview off air, do an hour, and then I'll play 1 or 2 questions on the show. Like I'll go, hey, I had a chance to talk to Jim Messina, and I asked him, what was it like?
During Rock Talk.
Yeah. What was it like playing with? Yeah, exactly. What was it like being in the band with Kenny Loggins? And then Jim will come on and go, well, if you want to hear more of that, go to, and then, because we podcast.
We can podcast it, yeah.
We'll podcast it instead of doing the whole thing. Because I do understand that one of the things corporate has always done is you may be old, but don't try not to sound old, like with your references. Like
Boffo.
Like Boffo.
And Groovy.
Groovy. Or say, I haven't seen anybody that funny since Shecky Green. Shecky Green is a comic from the Catskills. His heyday was 1962. It's just, people, most folks do, and they shouldn't know Shecky Green. Right? So, but me, Tenby, I love listening to old rock star stories. I just think they're fun. They just lived in a world that we've never tiptoed in, much less walked in. And it's just fun to hear them tell the old stories because he was started with Buffalo Springfield and with Poco. Poco was sort of a poor man's Eagles. They were both that Southern California rock sound. You had Eagles, Poco, Jackson Brown, even Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young were out of that area. Joni Mitchell, all those people. Mamas and the Papas, that California kind of a sound. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. So that is coming. This one says, I know who Jim Messina is. What are you talking about? Give the man some credit. I am giving him credit. I'm just saying the audience, a lot of our audience doesn't know who these older artists are. They just don't. I'm giving the man credit. I'm interviewing him for an hour. I'm going to his show. What do you mean give him credit? I, on the air, actually said, I think I would rather listen to Loggins and Messina than Hall & Oates. And I like Hall & Oates. I think Hall & Oates is a fine duo. If I was rating them, I would put my favorite duos in this order would be Simon and Garfunkel, Loggins and Messina, Hall & Oates, and Sacco and Vanzetti. Those would be in my order. I don't have Hall & Oates as high as other people, so I like him the best.
Argentina just scored.
Oh, they did.
It's 2-1.
2-1. How many minutes do you think they'll add, Tenevie? Well, they still have 11 minutes here, until the 90-minute mark. They're at the 79-minute mark right now, and then they'll add time, of course, as well. So, someone just said, "How high are the tariffs going to be on Belgium now?" That's a good line. I like that. How high will the tariffs be on Belgium?
Do you think when they're making like these corner kick passes or these crossers that the passes they are precisely trying to put it in the exact spot, or are they just throwing it out there just hoping it goes to one of their guys?
No, I think I thought it was going to rip sock. It's just all luck. They just kick the ball. They have no idea where it's going.
Puck luck. Yeah,
actually, I think they do. I think they've practiced it. So, but anyway, I just, it's, someone said, Common, keep ripping soccer. That's your best segment so far. I've liked it as well. It's one of my favorites also. There was another list story I saw, and you know me and list stories. This one is top 25 players age 25 and under, Tenevie.
In the National Football League?
In the National Football League. We won't go through all 25. I'll scroll. I don't know if there are any Viking players.
I was going to say, there's not a lot of options. Justin Jefferson used to be the guy on that list, but he's not in that range anymore. 25 or under, who do you think? Now, I get this as a tough question. I don't expect you to nail it because you'd have to go, let's see, there's 53 guys on every roster. There's 32 teams. That's 1,500 players. And how am I going to guess the very best 25 and under? It's hard to remember who's at what age.
Exactly. But let's just say, I'll give you a hint. He's a running back.
Bijan Robinson.
Bijan Robinson is rated the number one player, 25 years of age and younger.
Figured there'd be a quarterback in there.
It says Bijan Robinson has turned into a cheat code. He's arguably the best dual threat running back in the league, has put together a start to his career unlike anything we've seen before. I guess I haven't been paying as close attention to the Atlanta Falcons or Bijan Robinson as much as I used to because I had no idea. These numbers are astonishing. His 2,298 scrimmage yards led the NFL in 2025 and set a new franchise record. So far, he's compiled 5,000 648 yards from scrimmage, the most by a player aged 23 or younger in NFL history. Those scrimmage yards also rank fourth most through a player's first 3 seasons in NFL history. And I knew he was good. And to me, what's even more impressive with this, Tennessee, is Atlanta is really not very good, right? I mean, they
haven't been good his entire time.
Yeah, their quarterback situation has always been in flux. You know, they went in. Who was it before Cousins? Who was the guy they had? Then they decided to go out and get Cousins, and then they drafted Penix. I don't even remember, but it was obviously somebody that wasn't very good. They certainly weren't happy with him.
I'm trying to remember because I think who was the guy they spent a second-round pick on? We had him for like a touch here as like a.
Oh, we did.
Like a practice squad quarterback. Why can't I think of his name?
As we noted with his teammate Drake London, Robinson is supposed
to... Desmond Ritter was his name. Yeah.
As we noted... Oh, yeah, here it even says, Robinson has posted those numbers despite subpar quarterback play for much of his career, making them even more mesmerizing. They were thinking the same way I'm thinking. When the Falcons give him the ball, Robinson's liable to make a house call at any moment as one of the game's true lightning rods, and he's just entering his prime.
Messi just scored. Argentina tied it.
Oh, really?
They've just been putting on the pressure.
Look at the people in the crowd. They absolutely have gone insane.
A lot of Argentina fans in Atlanta.
I do not have a horse in the race. I do not have a dog in the fight. Is there a third one? Horse in the race, dog in the fight. There's got to be a third one. Regardless if there is or not. I would like to have seen Egypt win. I would have to expect, and this is coming from a casual when it comes to soccer, I would have to think they were the underdogs going in this game. But probably you get to this point, you're probably a pretty good club, right? But I think things do not bode well for our friends from Egypt. Number 2 on this list tend to be Enlist Radio, lazy radio, my favorite kind of radio. He plays for the Los Angeles Rams. 25
Puka Nacua.
That is correct. He led the league in receptions, 129, receiving yards, 100 per game, 107.2 last season. His career average of 95.3 receiving yards per game is also the highest in National Football League history. Number 3 on that list tend to be NFC Central.
NFC North. Jahmyr Gibbs.
Right team, wrong player. Not a
Amon Ra's not
a skill position player.
Oh, Hutchinson. Penny Sewell.
Says Sewell is becoming the gold standard for offensive tackles in the NFL. He's elite as both a pass blocker and run blocker. While Gibbs and Monty were lauded as a fantastic duo during their time together in Detroit's backfield, Sewell has been a major X factor in their success on the ground. He's also been superb in protecting Goff, allowing just 3 sacks last season, according to True Media. His 19 pressures allowed tied a career low, and he was beaten on just 2.1% of his snaps, also a career best.
That's crazy.
He's been a first-team All-Pro in each of the last 3 seasons, and it's not hard to see why. And now he is moving to the left side because Detroit's line was very good in their 2 decent runs, where they went to the NFC Championship game and lost to the 49ers. And then they lost, after that 15-2 season, they lost their first playoff game in the division round to Washington. He's moving from right tackle over to left tackle, which I didn't even realize because I didn't pay as close attention to Penny Sewell's collegiate career as I once did. But when he was with Oregon, apparently he played left tackle for them for a lengthy amount of time. Number 4, Tennessee, is the first quarterback on that list. 25.
I was thinking Drake May when you first brought up the list. Yeah,
it's Drake May. Second-year signal caller, finished second to Matty Stafford in the MVP race last year. He became the youngest quarterback in NFL history to lead the league in completion percentage and yards per attempt in the same season. His playoff performance was muted by deficiencies along the offensive line, culminating in a dud in Super Bowl LX. Number 5, Tennessee, he plays for Seattle.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
You're really good at this.
It helps when you tell me the team.
Yeah, there were questions about how Seattle's receiver room would fare following the departures of DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. It was expected that Njigba would take on a larger workload, but it was jaw-dropping to see his production as the alpha of the Seahawks passing attack. The wideout won the NFL's Offensive Player of the Year award after a stellar third season. He recorded the third most receiving yards in a season in NFL history, including the regular season and postseason, 1989. His 1,793 receiving yards during the regular season led the NFL and set a Seahawks franchise record. He also signed a 4-year, $168 million contract extension.
Must be nice having Sam Darnold throw the ball to you.
Yeah. Where did Seattle get Sam Darnold, by the way? Wasn't he considered a bust? He was drafted by the Jets, I think, and he was terrible, right? And then he went where after that?
Then he went to Carolina.
And he was not very good there,
No.
right? Then where did he play after that?
Well, he was a backup at San Francisco.
Okay. And then what happened?
Then he kind of reinvigorated his career in Minnesota.
Oh, he did? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the same Sam Darnold. Old Sam Darnold has an arm, E-I-E-I-O, with a tutty here and a tutty there. What I will say about that $168 million extension, though, for Njigba, it's more like $100 million. Because after taxes and spend, lose, save, flaunt, house, car, can you make it last? Will Anderson Jr. is the defensive end. He's ranked number 6, Tennessee, for Houston. Number 7, also a quarterback, Tennessee.
Caleb Williams.
Correct. Pairing Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams did wonders for the young QB. The former number 1 overall pick broke out in 2025. He also became the first Bears quarterback since Sid Luckman to win a playoff game within his first 2 NFL seasons. That Sid Luckman, he's probably as well known to the audience as Jim Messina is. Do you think more people have heard of Sid Luckman or Jim Messina?
Well, Messina for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His 3,942 passing yards last season also set a franchise record. Rounding out the top 10, another quarterback at 8, Tennessee. And let me give you a hint. It's not J.J. McCarthy.
I wasn't thinking that. Jaden Daniels?
Yes, correct. He missed 10 games last year. They're giving him the benefit of the doubt, though. His rookie season, he led Washington to the NFC Championship game. He accounted for 31 total tutties and just 9 turnovers to go with a 100.1 passer rate, which is pretty good. At number 8, running back, Detroit Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs. And then a cornerback with Seattle, Devin
Witherspoon.
Witherspoon, yeah. So, I don't see any Vikings on this list at all. Oh, but there was one we could have had. Kyle Hamilton. Wasn't he available when we picked somebody or the other? Don't I always hear that?
Yeah, Hamilton was... That was the year we traded back to get Lewis Seen. He was available around the Vikings pick. Would have liked to have had him.
Yeah, I don't see many. I don't see any Vikings on this list, but I haven't dialed through all. Maybe I'll do it during this break. We can get back to it. Then someone else wanted to know the top 10 KFAN personalities under 75 years of age. Well, Rosen is 75 now.
Yes, he can't make the list.
Barrero's approaching 75. I haven't hit the 7-0 yet, and I'm young at heart. I did tell you I'm transitioning when it comes to golf, right?
Yes.
Mixing in some yellow tees with the whites. We'll take a break. We'll come back when we do 5-3-4 tees, please.
Yeah, Vision for the Division is back.
The Common Man.
I used to love him. I don't love him anymore. I